Shalom, everyone. Good to see you all. It's nearly Shabbat Shalom. Today is Friday, Cheshvan the 24th, and it is November the 18th. And this Shabbat, we are going to read about Sarah's life. The portion begins on chapter 23 in Genesis. And the first verse in the portion says that these were the life of Sarah. She was 100 years and 20 years and 7 years when she died. And the main question is, why breaking it down so much? Why saying 100 years and 20 years and 7 years? Why not just saying 127? And there are a few answers given about this question. One of the most famous answers is that God wants to teach us that Sarah's life were in unity in terms of how she functioned. So when she was 100, she was like a 20-year-old, and when she was a 20-year-old, she was like a 7-year-old, and when she was 7-year-old, she was like 100 years old. And what does that mean? When she was 100, she had the energy and will to give to others, and the ability to give and to function with so much energy inside of her, like a 20-year-old. When she was a 20-year-old, she was as innocent of sin just as a 7-year-old. And when she was 7, she was as wise as 100 years old. That's one answer. Another answer, which might be interesting, is that maybe God is trying to draw our attention to the numbers. And he says 100 years and 20 years and 7 years to tell us that we may need to come up with a message given through the numbers 1, 2, and 7. When we add up the numbers 1, 2, and 7, we get to the number 10, right? 1 and 2 are 3, 3 and 7, that's 10. And 10, when we add up the digits of the number 10, 1 and 0, we get to the number 1. And maybe this is God trying to draw our attention to the fact that Sarah lived her life in unity. Her entire life was one. The message was one. It was clear all the way. Even when it was difficult, even when it was very challenging to keep up with the faith and to stand alongside her husband Abraham with his calling to go to the land. You will have a son. There were times in Sarah's life that she wasn't certain. Maybe I'm not the mother of that son who was promised to Abraham. Maybe there is something wrong with me not being able to have that son. Sarah had to keep up with living in faith and keep walking alongside her husband with his calling, and all in unity. When the message is clear, eventually good will come, salvation will come, and I will be saved. So Sarah's life were 100 years and 20 years and 7 years of age. And may we all live up to see this message, coming in our lives. May we all age enough to be 127. This comes from a person who is about to celebrate his 39th birthday this week. And I wish you all Shabbat Shalom and lots of love. Bye-bye.